Have you ever been seemingly like stuck in life? Like no matter what you do, you can't get out of the same loop of events or patterns or get away from the same people that seem to just suck you dry? Maybe you feel sucked dry on every level of life and it's excruciating just to think about another day. Maybe you're not crazy for wanting more. Maybe you're God's phoenix that he's about to literally rise from the ashes. See, he gave us the blueprint to a new life right on the first couple pages of the Bible. And so in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and the darkness was over the face of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the face of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw the light, and that it was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, there was morning, the first day. Most people are familiar with the creation story. However, this is the point in the journey where you're so sick and tired of being sick and tired and just desperate enough to call out to God. And then when that happens, God shines his light on your life. But instead of showing up as everything you've ever wanted in a package, like it was been delivered, like package delivery, it shows up as an all-consuming fire that burns anything that didn't come from God. And that's where a lot of people get confused. There's illumination of the truth and separation from darkness and chaos in you and around you. Not all of you can stay, and not all of them that's around you can stay. Maybe those people that you are around that exhaust you start switching up, or maybe some of them betray you. There's nothing that the darkness and other people hate more than exposure, than the light of God shining on everything that they try to hide. And the presence of God brings exposure. It's like all the cockroaches in your soul and in your life are exposed and run. He sets you apart as a child of God, as a child of light. Like he set apart light from darkness in day one. Separate, meaning you are changed. Your heart has been touched by God and you can't be a part of the darkness anymore. Which is confusing sometimes, because darkness sometimes casts a smoke and mirror show to look like the light. So people you never would have thought would leave start to leave, or cringe at the light of God shining on you, which looks like them abandoning you personally, and you start to take it personal. This is the painful part that most people run from themselves, only to retreat back into the shadows in their own souls that ran the show and made you miserable in the first place. This is where most of you and your life actually burns to ash. And it shows up as an identity crisis, because those things you've been tolerating for so long looked like they were a part of you, like kind of you grew around them, like a tree growing around a fence or something. It looked like those things are part of you. And so on day 2, and God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse and separated the waters that were under the expanse from the waters that were above the expanse, and it was so. And God called the expanse heaven. And there was evening and there was morning the second day. So God said, "Let there be an expanse," which is called heavens. And this is where you get a revelation of Jesus, the real Jesus, not the watered down one that fits in a religious box that people love to think that they act like, and that people love to display. And Jesus is the one who does the separating in and around you. And the expanse separated. It separated the waters. And so this is where Jesus starts separating and sweeping away the ashes of your old self and life. Anything that does not like him gets removed. And everyone has their own crutches, dirty websites, food, other people, romantic relationships, even the ones that don't seem so bad. And I know I'm getting in someone's business now. It feels like you are being kicked while you're down, like God set fire to your crutches, but instead of walking on broken legs, you are now going to be trained to walk, to run without growing weary. How long has it been since you actually walked and ran, and weren't just in survival mode trying to get through another day? In day 3, and God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so, and God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together he called seas. And God saw that it was good, and God said, "Let the earth sprout vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit, which is in their seed, each according to its kind on the earth." And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit, in which is their seed, each according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the 3rd day. So he sets you on sturdy ground and develops your fruit. And this is fruit of the Spirit, which is love, joy, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, self-control. And he establishes your gifts that he placed inside you before you were born. From when he knew you, before he knit you in your mother's womb, and he starts to apply pressure to you, like he's forming a diamond, which are actually formed under extreme pressure over a long period of time and are also extremely valuable. God said, "And let dry land appear." So extreme of volcanic heat and layering of lava creates continents that lives are built on. You're becoming someone that people's lives can be built on. The ash from volcanoes produces organic, rich soil, and life literally rises from the ashes like a phoenix. And God said, life multiplies after its own kind. This is where God takes you through the long process of healing. The crutches are completely gone, and there is no turning back to your old life and way of being. Your legs are still broken, but healing now. This part seems like it takes an eternity. Just like a bone takes up to a couple years to heal, this is where you cry out to God and beg for it to end, for him to just give you the final results that he showed you in the beginning. And he reminds you that bones that were broken, once healed, become even stronger than they were before. And he encourages you, and he does not leave you in the process. He's going through it with you. And God said, "Let there be lights in the expanse of the heavens to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and for years, and let them be lights in the expanse of heavens to give light upon the earth." And it was so. And God made the 2 great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the expanse of the heavens to give light on the earth, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening and there was morning the 4th day. This is where God gets you on track with his timing, signs and seasons, with his prophetic timeline. He collapses time. This is where you quantum leap. All that time God spent healing you, all that time you thought was wasted gets redeemed. He shines a spotlight on you, and you are a multifaceted diamond now that reflects God's light and shines prismatic rainbows into the earth. You become a lighthouse for those that are still lost at sea, still lost in deep darkness and chaos, like there was in the beginning on day 1 of creation. You start to walk now in freedom without the crutches, and you feel like a new creation. The old you has passed away, and you know that. You feel that. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes of its old self, everything, all the waiting, pain, agony of dying to yourself and your soul and learning how to walk after having broken legs. Your soul rebirthed in God and starts to make sense and feel worth it. You look back on the past and you remember your old self and you don't recognize yourself anymore. You are completely different. And God said, let the waters swarm with swarms of living creatures and let birds fly above the earth across the expanse of the heavens. So God created the great sea creatures and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good, and God blessed them, saying, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth. And there was evening and there was morning, the 5th day. And this is when your gifts are multiplied and God fills you up with life abundantly, life that is found in Him. He is the life bringer, just like in the first verse, the meaning of the waters changed from deep dark chaos to water that is good for life. Life follows and trails behind God. He shows up like an all-consuming fire, and then life springs up out of the ashes that trail behind, like a rainforest springing up from the ash of a volcanic eruption. You don't recognize your old self anymore, and you reflect God now, like a torch being lit from the main fire. Now you expose the darkness that you once hid yourself in and propped yourself up on. This is powerful stuff. And God said, let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, livestock and creeping things, and beasts of the earth according to their kinds. And it was so. And God made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and livestock according to their kinds, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God said it was good. And God said, let us make man in our image after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on the earth. So God created man in His own image. In the image of God He created him, male and female He created them. And God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over every living thing that moves on the earth. And God said, behold, I have given you every plant have them for food, and to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the heavens, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has breath of life, I have given every green plant for food. And it was so. And God saw everything that He had made, and behold, it was very good. And there was evening and there was morning, the 6th day. This is the point where you are restored as an image bearer of God, blessed and appointed with dominion and multiplication and rulership. You get authority over your assignment, what you were made to do, what God put in you before you were born to do, what you were literally put in the earth to accomplish. And the earth and reality recognizes you and bends to your new identity. You have the authority to multiply abundantly. God's favor trails behind you, and it is undeniable. So then, thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the 7th day God finished His work that He had done, and He had rested on the 7th day from all His work that He had done. So God blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it God rested from all His work that He had done in creation. Rest and supervision of and maintaining what God built and multiplied in you and through you. This is where you rest in God and you walk with God. This is where you reign in your authority as one of God's children who look like Him. Don't give up. Don't abandon the process. I know it feels like it's taking forever, but there's no going back now. And there is a light on the other side. You can do this. God is going through this with you. He's not expecting you to go through it alone. Each thing you feel, He feels. Each thing you go through, He's going through with you. And you will come out on the other side of this. God is holding you in His hands, and He will not let you go. You can do this.